Hey everyone, in this video I'll give you a quick introduction to FiberQ, an open source QGIS plugin for designing and documenting fiber optic networks like fiber to the home, GPON and similar workflows. We'll do 4 things in this presentation video: where to download FiberQ and the documentation, how to install FiberQ in QGIS, how to create a new FiberQ project with a basemap and correct CRS, a fast tour of the main toolbar buttons so you know what's inside before we go deep in the next tutorials. So, what FiberQ is? FiberQ helps you set up a standardized fiber design workspace in QGIS, like layers, attributes and tools for placing network elements, tracing routes, laying cables, generating outputs like exports and BOM report, import or export existing or new layer from points and lines, and optionally publishing to a shared PostGIS plus preview map workflow. First, you'll need a QGIS installed on your computer or laptop. I recommend using a recent QGIS version for FiberQ. FiberQ is designed for QGIS version 3.34 plus and ideally the latest QGIS long-term release. So this is the official link where you can download the latest version of the QGIS. Here's the repo version of the website when you can download the plugin like zip folder. Now for the FiberQ resources, the main website is fiberq.net. That's where you can find the plugin overview and download the latest user guide in PDF format. Here is the page documentation. Just simply click download user guide and you have here a step-by-step, end-to-end full documentation in 78 pages. So you can know simply how the FiberQ works in QGIS. The source code and development live on GitHub at github.com/vukovitsvl-fiberq. This is the repo. That's also where you can open issues for bugs and use discussions for feature requests and feedback. Such as here. And if you want to support the project for the next development versions, there is also GitHub sponsors for donations, monthly or one time, that support directly me and other developers who's gonna include in the next versions of the FiberQ. One important note for the user guide: the user guide is as I was saying, full step-by-step walkthrough of the workflow of the FiberQ QGIS. Today we are going intro and setup, and in the next videos we'll follow the guide end to end. Alright, now let's install the plugin. When you download and install the QGIS, just simply open the QGIS. In QGIS, go to Plugins, Manage and Install Plugins. In all section in search bar type FiberQ, and you will have here an option button install. For the next versions you will get the notification when the new version is available for the upgrade. After installation you should see the FiberQ toolbar and menu entry. Depending on your QGIS layout, it might appear in a toolbar row or under the plugin menus. Also you can manipulate with the toolbar in QGIS, and I'm gonna simply leave it here. Okay. Now let's create a clean FiberQ project. How to do that? Just simply, you can, when you open and you turn on the plugin FiberQ, just simply click here, new project. You will see a blank new white page. After that, just simply here in the browser panel, and beneath that you have a layers panel. Just simply in XYZ tiles, you have an option to load this OpenStreetMap layer, basemap layer in layers panel. So just right click, add layers to project. If you don't like that, just simply remove layer group, or you can select OpenStreetMap or Esri satellites. I'm going to use for this example OpenStreetMap and simply drag with left click on the mouse here in the layers panel. After that, if you need to change the coordinate reference system, you can click here project properties, and you have here project coordinate reference system or CRS. Just a second. Now, one important GIS bit for CRS, for fiber design, you really want a local project CRS in meters, because cable length, route lengths and buffers need accurate meter-based calculations. For the next version, we're going to include also for the US market the metric system to be also in miles and I think inches. Yes, that's it. So I'm setting my project CRS to a local projection that use meters. Pick the correct one for your country or region. You can use for Serbia like this, or I'm gonna use worldwide 3857 default one. I apply OK, and that's it. After that, you can zoom here to find your location, but if you want to avoid that, you have here in the FiberQ buttons, you have a locator button, and you put mouse above that button, the pop-up will show it's the locator button. Just click it there, and we can type your country. I don't know, I'm gonna use my chart pool address. When you fill out this information, just click on the find on the map button, and I'm gonna pin you right on that point. And you have here a small window pop up to show you where you are located. If you are annoyed with this plus cross sign, just click here in the next button, hide locator, and that's it. Or manually you can zoom in or zoom out for your point location. But for the first open and clean project, I think it's the best way to use this option. Now, before we add any layers, there's a important thing. We need to save fiber layers into a package file. GeoPackage is great because it keeps multiple GIS layers in one file, and it's easy to share. Once saved, you're ready to work with without worrying about losing temporary layers. The tip that will save you headaches, as I was saying, FiberQ initially creates temporary layers, and you should save them into GeoPackage file, so they are permanent. If you don't save the temporary layers into GeoPackage, QGIS may warn you that scratch layers will be lost and you can run into errors later. So create the project, add some elements from the FiberQ buttons, and save them to the GeoPackage file, or enable autosave button from FiberQ if you use that workflow. Let me explain that. So maybe you need, for the beginning of the project, to add some poles. Just click here in the routing button, in drop down selection, click on the button add pole, and lay here one pole. Okay, it's a simple point. After that, if you hit the exit button, you will get this error. This project includes one or more temporary scratch layers. These layers are not saved to disk and their contents will be permanently lost. I sure want to proceed that. I'm gonna hit cancel. You have here a button that says export all vector layers to a single GeoPackage file and redirect the project to it. I'm gonna click save. I don't know, maybe documents, QGIS, test tutorial, Telecom GeoPackage extension. Save, yes, and you now can see that's saved. If you add another layer, I don't know, maybe manholes, and you create that layer, to avoid manually saving again this new layer into GeoPackage file, just click, for now, the same options. Just a second. And for okay, so it's saved. Just click the button. I'm sorry for that confusion. Just when you save the first layer in GeoPackage file, just click the button to avoid confusion. When enabled, every new or memory layer is automatically written to the selected GeoPackage file and redirected to it. You can see it's turned on autosave in GeoPackage, and you can see it have a different gray color around it, that button. Okay, and that's it.